is going on, YouTube? The Assist Man. I'm coming at you guys with the Division gameplay. Me and my man Homicide are running a 2-man Lincoln Tunnel challenging mission. So that's the gameplay you're going to be watching. I'm actually going to split this gameplay into 2 videos that it pretty much has to do with the same topic. So this is going to be part 1 of a video, and then the next video I make is going to be part 2, and you're going to see the second half of the gameplay when we actually complete this mission with just the 2 of us. But that's the gameplay, man. You know, it's never really that important. Let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand, because that is what is important. So in part 1, what we're going to be talking about in this one is video games. Should they cost a monthly charge instead of you paying for the entire game? What I mean by that is, should we actually change the model? You know, should we reinvent the wheel? Should the developers and publishers reinvent the wheel as far as like video game sales are concerned? I mean, because literally for like the past 30 years now, if you wanted to play a video game, you go to your local store, wherever, and you buy the game for 60 bucks. So you buy the game. You know, I can remember doing this back to the Nintendo days. You know, you go and buy a NES, a Super Nintendo game, a Sega Genesis game, an Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Whatever game you're trying to buy, you go to the store, and 99% of the time, if you buy the game new when it first comes out, you're going to pay $60 for it. So that's the way we've been doing it for the longest time. But by doing that causes some issues and some problems, and that mostly has to do with how good the games are and if you're enjoying the game. Because some games are going to be really, really good to some people, and then that same game could really, really suck to another person. But I would think for the most part, the community will be in agreement when a game is like totally broken or completely sucks. That part I think is pretty much going to be in agreement by most people. But I think that, you know, paying monthly for a game opposed to paying for a game in full price has a lot of benefits. And most of these, unfortunately, and why I say unfortunately, I'll say in a second, are going to be geared towards the consumer. You know, the person that actually buys the game, me and you. And why I say unfortunately is because most of the developers and companies don't think like that. They don't really care about us. You know, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. All they care about is if we buy their product and they get their money, and then it's like, fuck us afterwards. You know, they got our money. They have no reason to want to help us after that point or fix things, because why would they? They already got our money. Unless they're going to plan on doing a bunch of DLC and microtransactions to try to extract more money out of us, then why would they care about what we say or the way we feel towards their game if we already bought it? They already got us on the line, so hey, it is what it is. But you see, over the past couple years, primarily in the past year or 2 now, gaming has just been really, really bad, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with that. You know, back in the days, games used to be really, really good. You'd have 5 to 10 games coming out a year that were like blockbuster, awesome, just fun to play games. But for like the past 2 years, we don't have that. We get games that are like really, really highly anticipated, you know, really, really hyped up, and then we get them, and they just are not good. You know, not only are they not good, they're broken. They have tons of exploits and glitches like The Division. They have tons of issues and all kinds of shit in the game like Black Ops 3. The gameplay mechanics just suck, and the game is ruined like Advanced Warfare, Battlefield Hardline. I mean, there's so many games that have came out in the past year to 2 years now that have been so hyped up that have just failed miserably after like a month or 2 because the game, it was just released too soon. It wasn't a finished product. It was just broken. It wasn't fun. There's a multitude of reasons for that. But then you're sitting there and you're like, fuck, because, you know, you buy this game for 60 bucks, and then like a month or 2 down the road, you're like, man, I can't take this game anymore. You know, I tried my hardest to like it. I tried my hardest to stick around. Hopefully the developers would fix the game, and they just haven't. I can't deal with the game anymore. I don't like it. I'm not playing it anymore. It sucks. I don't want to play it no more. But then you're left with your game. You're left with your $60 game that you just bought a month or 2 prior to that. And that's why I told people in the past, you know, I've made videos about this, why not to buy the digital download copies of games, especially new release games, is because you buy the game, and if you don't like it, you can't do anything with it. At least when you buy a physical hard copy of a game for $60, you can go and either A, trade that game in and recoup back most of your money, or sell that game on like eBay or Amazon or Craigslist and recoup most of your money. When you buy a digital download of a game, you're stuck with it. You can't do anything with it at all. So, but I've already covered that in separate videos in the past. But how about if we change it up? How about instead of paying $60 for a game up front, we pay a monthly fee for a game and we don't pay anything up front? You see, I think that would be, like I said in the beginning of this video, I think that would benefit us tremendously, but it would not benefit the manufacturers and the developers and these companies of these games. Because then I think that they'd actually be forced to make a good game. They'd be forced to make a game that people actually like and enjoy and want to continue to play. Unlike a lot of games that are coming out in the past 2 years where you buy them and you only play them for like a month or two and you realize that they suck and they're not fun and you stop playing them. But why would the manufacturers care? You know, they got your money already. You see, most of these manufacturers, I mean, let's look at Call of Duty, for instance, you know, because that's a game I primarily play, and that's a game I've been playing for my entire life, pretty much. And it's a game, you know, most of you guys play as well. So let's look at Call of Duty, for instance. Call of Duty is made as a model of a new Call of Duty comes out every single year. So they already make the game with the anticipation that, hey, this game is going to last a year. It has a shelf life of a year, according to us, because next year we're releasing a new one. So how about instead of paying $60 for a game, you break that down and you pay for it yearly. You pay $5 a month. So instead of paying $60 for a game that's supposed to have a shelf life for a year, you pay $5 a month for 12 months, up to 12 months. But the thing is, like, there's no contracts or anything like that. You just pay every month you want to play the game, you pay $5. And when you feel like you don't want to play that game anymore, you just don't pay the $5. So maybe for the first 2 months you pay $5 a month, now you're into it for $10. The third month you're like, man, the game is broken, or I really don't like it anymore, I'm not going to pay to play it this month, and you don't pay it. But then maybe, you know, 2 months down the road you feel like, you know, you want to play it again, and you go and you renew your subscription, you pay your $5, and you play that game again for another month, and so on and so forth. You see, the way that could benefit us, the consumer, is that if we do get a game and we don't like it, or it's broken, or it's not fun, or it's totally just, you know, an exploited, glitchy-ass game, in the first month, we don't have to pay for it anymore. We're only into that game for $5. You know? $5. But see, the consumer wins, but the companies, they're going to lose. Well, kind of. I mean, they are going to lose because a lot of people, they're not going to get their $60 for their game unless, you know, people actually, you know, play it for the whole entire 12 months. But on the other hand, like I said, it would have forced them to make better games. It would have forced them to make us want to play their games. So this actually can have benefits both ways for not only the gamers, as in the consumers, and the companies and developers that make their game. The gamers and consumers would be, you know, much better off because we'd actually not have to come out of pocket so much. And if we actually, you know, like the game, we're going to continue to play it. And that's how it can also benefit the companies. Because of two reasons why this can not only benefit the consumers, but how it can also benefit the companies is that, say for instance, we love this game and we actually want to play this game for 3 years. So instead of them only getting $60 for a game now that we're going to play for 3 years, they would get $60 times 3 years, which would be $180. So that's one way they could benefit, is if they make a good game that people will want to continue to play for years, they will actually in turn make up, you know, wind up making more money. Another way that they could benefit is that they won't actually have to make hard copies of games anymore. Everything could be digital download. You pay your subscription right on your console, right on your PC. So they don't have to, you know, have all the manufacturing cost of the cases, of the game themselves, the graphic cost of putting the artwork on the game, the logos, the whole entire, you know, shipping process, the shrink wrapping process, the shipping it to the distributors, shipping it to retail stores. They don't have to incur all those charges. They have no overhead anymore. All they have to do is make the game, and people will just go ahead and download it digitally online and pay their $5 a month for it. So that could benefit the companies in two ways. By A, like I said, people, if they like the game, will actually play it for more than a year, and then thus the companies will make more than $60 on a game. And then B, they won't have to incur any of the overhead charges for actually producing the game, manufacturing the disc, buying the cases, manufacturing the artwork, shipping it to distributors, shipping it to retailers, shrink wrapping it, promoting it, the whole entire 9 yards. And then in turn, like I said, will benefit us. Imagine if we could actually play games and pay for them monthly. How much money we would save when we buy games that aren't good, like Black Ops 3, like, you know, other games that we play that we're not playing anymore. Games that get old after a few months because they're boring or they're broken or they suck. So anyway, man, that's part one. In part two, what I'm going to go into about the video games is, are video games actually worth $60? You know, is a game, or games in general, The normal selling price of games is $60. Are games actually worth $60? That's going to be in part 2, and I'm going to bring to you guys the second part of what I'm playing right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man, and leave a comment down below. Let me know how you guys feel about what I just said. Would you be more adept to actually wanting to pay a monthly charge for a video game instead of shelling out $60 up front? Or would you rather just shell out the $60 and just hope for the best? So leave a comment. Let me know how you guys feel down below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends about me, man, so they can subscribe to my channel. They can view my videos, and then you can help a brother out. So anyway, YouTube, this is the Assist Man, and until next time, look forward to part 2, and I am out.